Everybody, welcome to Blood Daily, 9 a.m. Central European Time on the dollar. We do the show every day, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. Central European Time, summertime. So, you know, there's that. And as you can see, right now we got a big dump on Bitcoin, minus 4%. Altcoins are bleeding big time towards downside. FTX down 17%. It's definitely, you know, sell-off from Binance probably, you know, kicking through. So there is so much fun when it comes to FTX. Will it survive this? I'm gonna show you the chart of FTX as well. One of our TA fans club, you know, favorite members, managed to save his 10k by this dump. He went short on a Litecoin. A Litecoin managed to, you know, hit very close to his liquidation point, but it got rejected, and Litecoin actually pulled back. Where is Litecoin actually? LTC, there is minus 4%. So you can see up here, I was actually looking at that, like he hit this, you know, he had 73.4 from what I get at as liquidation point. It hit 73.2 and it reversed. So, you know, congrats, man. I hope you enjoy your money. I hope you don't do the same mistake twice, you know, because it does happen. So we're gonna, you know, watch what's happening on Bitcoin. You see down here, there is some kind of line, but you know, this line is kind of crappy. It's on 2-day time frame, you know, up here. Right now we're coming down to that. So the big question is whether this is bad or this is good. And every time I think, you know, something looks good and it's gonna, you know, pump towards the upside, it kind of doesn't. Every time I gotta hope that we're gonna break through, this is it, it's gonna happen, it doesn't. Every time we get a pump, we get rejected. So the big problem up here was that, you know, we went into this, you know, failure up here, went down, rejected. Right now we're down at the bottom. The question is this enough? Is this enough pullback towards downside before we can actually pump? Is this enough, you know, to make us bullish or anything like that? Is this enough by any, you know, shape or form? So let's look at a little bit charts. By the way, before we start, of course, who is in the chat? Rushden Army, let's go. I'm opening a huge long if you hit 18.2. Gort is happy. Gort, you know, we go down, Gort is super happy. We go up, he goes bullish. He's not, he's like pessimistically bullish. He's like, yeah, but yeah, it's good times now, we're going up, yeah. And then as soon as we turn around, he's the biggest bear in the chat. Mladen is in the chat. How you doing, Mladen? Dobro jutro. Looks like my previous prayers were answered in form of FTX FUD. Looks like that, looks like that. You survived, man, you survived. Good luck. Don't do the same mistake twice, yeah? You know, one of these days, going long on 80k will be a huge mistake. That day is gonna be in 3 weeks. We got 2 weeks left until 22/11/22. Today, eclipse event, blood moon, as you saw in the, you know, intro. We got a blood moon on our hands, guys. We got a blood moon, and the blood moon is blood moon. November 8th, blood moon. A celestial event is known as the Beaver Blood Moon Lunar Eclipse, and its total will eclipse be visible in North and Central America Pacific. Beaver Blood Moon Total Lunar Eclipse milestone for November 8th, 2022. Do we have a live stream of this? Do we have a live stream of the moon? Moon live stream. Do we have a live stream of the moon? That would be very nice. Total eclipse, maximum eclipses are 5:59 AM. Which time? AM, what time? I don't know, but you know, I don't know even what time it is at this place. Sign into chat. If somebody can figure out what time this is, let's see up here. No, it doesn't say, but there is live stream. We're gonna, you know, probably, you know, when we end, we're gonna put the live stream on and watch the moon. You can watch the moon. You can watch the, if it becomes red. If it becomes red, you know, all hell breaks loose. FTT insolvency will take up to 8 to 13k. I don't know about that. We wanted to crash. I don't know if I wanted to crash, man. I don't know if it's CIT probably. I don't know if it's CIT because we are this is AM, so we are past all of the numbers. Are we past this already? Live stream, bro. This is from Detroit. Detroit. What's time it is in Detroit? Let's see up here. Detroit time. It's 4:01. So right now there are a number of so 3, 1, 2 in 3 hours. In 3 hours, guys. In 3 hours. There will be in 3 hours. So right now it's exactly 3:01 in Detroit, because this is a live stream broadcast from Detroit. So I'm guessing this is, you know, Detroit, you know, time zone. So if it's 3 a.m. in Detroit, in exactly 3 hours we will be having maximum eclipse. So that's you know, Eastern European Central European time. That's exactly at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. we will be having, you know, the maximum eclipse. So it's gonna be nice to see if that actually happens or not. 4:01. We can do live stream moon meditation. Yeah, we're gonna do live stream moon meditation stream in 3 hours, guys. In 3 hours there will be a live stream. So be sure to watch that. Who's got their coffee ready for the blood moon? Yeah, good times, guys, good times. So we're gonna see if the blood moon actually, you know, dumps us down or not. So as you can see here on the monthly time frame, we've been, you know, hovering below the 50 moving average down here. Now this is the monthly time frame, so it doesn't tell us that much up here. The only thing that we can conclude from the, you know, that we still got, you know, way to go until the next support line up here. Now the best case scenario, this, you know, finally, you know, breaks towards the upside up here, but we are not there yet. You know, it's still, you know, monthly time frame, so we got something like, you know, 22 days left. So there is that. Weekly time frame very much more interesting. Luckily for us, we got 5 days and 15 hours left on the weekly time frame. But you see here that we got above the 20 moving average up here very nicely, and right now we dump towards downside below everything. Now we still got, you know, 5 days, you know, left until the candle closes, so you know it's too early to call, you know, something bad, stuff like that, right? So we are not quite there yet. Can we see a new move down here and then pump towards downside? Definitely can happen. We've been talking about this previously, that you know, this move up here can, you know, do another one of these, you know, these bottoms down here. So you know, we can definitely get something like this up here before we actually move towards the upside. We're gonna see if that happens or not. Let's go to the daily time frame. Daily time frame managed to break certain levels up here, especially this one down here. There was an important line up here, and right now we broke that towards downside. Now we still got 14 hours left. I'm a little bit unsure how much we can actually pick up from this. We are still dumping down, and the price actually looks quite weak, to tell you the truth. So we are pretty much, you know, down big time, but the price looks a little bit weak. Let's check some indicators down here. What you're gonna see here on the 4-hourly time frame right now, that we are hitting some, you know, 24.8 levels on the RSI. So we are not very overextended, but I would say we are overextended on the 4-hourly time frame. So I would say that somewhere down here, you know, the bottom is coming in for a, you know, at least for a short while. Somewhere the bottom is coming in for a short while up here. You can see here the bottom down here, I was also at around 24.8. Down here it was a lot lower on this week up here. There was this week up here, you know. So these overextensions towards downside can actually play in our favor. Let's look at an overextension indicator down here, and you can see we are some kind of overextension. I mean, we are overextended, so some kind of consolidation might actually come up here. But you'll see that, for example, these actually not this one over here, overextension. We had this overextension over here when we pumped towards upside, and we got overextension, but we kind of continue bleeding towards downside. So that can also happen as well. So how are we gonna get this consolidation? A little bit unsure about that. Let's see up here. But the thing about this dump over here, so we got an overextension up here. Look at this, guys. Look at this. I'm gonna show you something. So you see that let me zoom in. You see this big dump over here, and then, you know, bleed towards downside. This was overextension on mine, but on the RSI we only hit 34. So we were not oversold like over here on the RSI. So we kept continuing going down. But right now we are very low on my indicator down here, and the RSI is down here at 24.8. So I would assume that it's not gonna bleed, you know, like it did last time towards downside. I would assume it's gonna pump up here, or maybe even sideways. So I think a lot of fear is kicking in right now. We got a, you know, blood moon. We got you know, FTX FUD still you know, working, you know, in the favor of FTX of Binance. So there's that. Let's see up here on the daily time frame. You know, the best case scenario is that we can, you know, hope for is, you know, we keep above the 50 moving average, which would be nice, because, you know, we used a long time to get above the 50 moving average up here, and, you know, right now getting back below that would not be a good times. You know, it won't be good times. I'm still saying that, you know, nothing is bad until we actually cross the 19.0 line down here, 19k. If we cross 19k, you know, that's when the bad time starts. Now the dump is pretty legit. It's pretty big, and you know, all the altcoins are down, you know, by you know, 5 to 10%. So everything is having this, you know, big move towards downside over here. You can see here on 2-day time frame. Now 2-day time frame is also closing in 14 hours and 53 minutes, but we are below, you know, 50 and 10 and 20. Like, we are below everything, right back down again. So, you know, what's gonna happen in the next 14 hours, that's gonna be, you know, telltale sign of, you know, what more is to come. What more is to come. Let's see up here on the 1-hourly time frame. Are we overextended? I think we are overextended down here on the, yeah, on this pump down here we are overextended, but we are still sitting at something like 28 on the 1-hourly. Daily time frame is only sitting at you know, 45. So there is no problem with that. Let's do Laden lines on the RSI. You can see here that we are actually breaking this towards downside. But, you know, this is daily time frame, so this week on the downside is not yet closed. So, you know, we're gonna see if we can actually manage to get above this line again up here on the daily time frame. 4-hourly time frame, it looks like to break down, but right now we are sitting on some kind of bottom. So what can we conclude from this? The dump is pretty legit. It's pretty big towards downside. I think we need consolidation before we actually continue dumping on the downside. But I won't actually yet call it that bad, because like I said, I think we need to go below something like, you know, 19k or something like that for this to be bad, and we are not quite there yet. So we are still holding certain levels. Now, there is very important chart, DXY, that we have been watching for a long time, and right now DXY says some kind of bottom. You can see this line up here. This is the most recent, one of the most recent trend lines, and we are bouncing off of that. Now this actually to me looks very bearish, because up here when we you know, we had a big move towards the upside, we tried to get above 1020, failed, tried to get above 20, failed, went down, you know, picked up support, bounced up, failed again above all the moving averages. Right now we are continuing bleeding down. Yes, we are on the support and we are gonna try to break up, but if we can go back below 109 or something like that, that's this previous low up here, then there is a good probability that we are gonna break certain other levels as well towards the downside. But right now we are sitting on support, so you know, going back below 109 will break this trend over here and will break the previous low. So we have low, low, and a lower low. And also I checked, there is no divergences that will be played on the chart, so there is no problem with, you know, having some kind of divergence. There is one big divergence on the chart, so I'm a little bit unsure how that's gonna play out. I'm gonna show you that. And as you know, we had, you know, this line up here that, you know, kind of get broken, but you know, this line isn't that one we are watching. We are watching something like this over here, give or take. You know, it might be this one up here that's, you know, already broken towards downside. I mean, this looks more legit to me. This looks more legitimate, especially if you enjoy something like this, like up here. Looks like we are already broke towards downside, but we, you know, we are giving it all the support that it can, you know, get. And right now that line is something right up here at 109 or something like that. So DXY to me looks like it's bad. It looks like it needs to dump down. But you know, it's blood moon, so people, you know, I was not unsure whether the blood moon is gonna be a dump or pump, because it is the full moon, and the previous new moon did pump us towards the upside. So I was thinking like, maybe, just maybe, this full moon, even though it's a blood moon, might actually pump. But I actually read some, you know, some very shady, you know, blood moon stock market stuff on the internet, and from what I can get, the blood moon has always been, not actually the blood moon, the eclipse on the blood moon has always been very, very bad. So there is that. So what can we conclude from that is that, you know, next time we have a blood moon and eclipse, you know, in 4 years time or something like that, maybe we should sell. That's the only thing we can conclude. That's all. But DXY does look bad, and it does look like it's gonna drop on the downside. I'm still not giving it, you know, 100% that it's gonna drop, because right now it's unsupported, and if it starts getting some kind of momentum towards the upside, starts breaking these levels up here, it's gonna be bad for everything, right? The time frames, your analysis are more relevant to short-term investors as opposed to daily traders. No clue what you just said there. That said, the stock market is not actually, you know, having any kind of big move towards the downside right now. I think if the stock market wants to drop down and we're gonna have some kind of bad event, it's not gonna happen to, you know, right now. It might start over here, but you know, we still need to, you know, pull back. This is on the S&P 500. We still need to pull back up here. This is on the daily time frame, 2-day time frame. You can see here the weekly time frame is trying to get back above the moving averages. This weekly time frame went back below 20 and 10 moving average. 2-day time frame is trying to pick back up again. So, you know, it's a little bit unsure. I think it's right now consolidating up. You're trying to figure out what's gonna do. If you start getting rejected, going back down to this line over here, if S&P starts, you know, going back down to the line, to the support area over here, who knows, we just might, you know, dump over here on the downside. That's gonna be around, you know, December or something like that, maybe even before that, maybe down here at the, you know, 22nd November we dump on the downside. I mean, that can definitely happen. Dow Jones is doing better than everything, but it is at this resistance up here at the top. So the question is, did it hit the top? Is it gonna get rejected right now and go towards downside? A little bit unsure about that. But Nasdaq is the one that looks the worst. So S&P 500 looks like it needs a little bit more time to, you know, really dump on the downside. I think it needs to get back down to these levels down here before it actually dumps. Dow Jones, if it dumps, it's just gonna be, you know, slow move towards downside, because it's not, you know, it's not very close to any kind of critical levels where it can dump big time. So I don't see any kind of, you know, big major, you know, crash in the Dow Jones. S&P can have that, but not right now. But the thing that is closest to a major crash is actually Nasdaq, the tech stocks up here, because they are, you know, still failing to get above the moving averages up here. It is creating this double bottom down here on the support line, some kind of support line up here. It is creating some kind of double bottom, you know, so, you know, definitely can, you know, manage to maybe do something nice and bounce up here. But the way the things are right now, you know, if it continues going down up here below the line, it can definitely dump big time towards the downside, pull the market with it. So whether the way I see it right now, the Dow Jones, it's not gonna dump big time. It's not, you know, the crash is not gonna come from Dow Jones, not yet from S&P 500. If it comes, it's gonna be from tech stocks, Nasdaq. So there is that. But there is definitely hope when it comes to DXY. DXY does, you know, seem to, you know, want to try to get a little bit back up here again. So that's why we are having this maybe small dump. But if this pump towards the upside on DXY right now pushes Bitcoin down 4-5% to some kind of bottom, and then does this towards downside, guys, it's gonna be good times. So whether the blood moon is actually good or bad for us, we don't know. You know, we only in the aftermath, you know, a couple of weeks later, we can actually know, you know, go back and say whether the blood moon was good or bad for us. But right now, it doesn't seem so. It doesn't seem so. So hopefully it can stay above 19.7 up here. We already pulled back, you know, some of that move. Hopefully it can stay above 19.7. Let's go to 5-minute time frame up here. We're just consolidating down here. This does not look strong at all. So we're gonna see if you do another, you know, move towards downside. I would say if you do another move towards downside, because we are so much overextended on the 4-hourly time frame, that we might just have a nice bounce towards the upside. So we're gonna see that. Now there has been a lot of FUD. My kid just bought some XLM on my phone, lol. Nice. I mean, it's better they buy, you know, crypto on phone than, you know, what do you call these game coins from, you know, random games. What was that most popular game that everybody was playing, you know, a couple of years back? I don't know. Candy Crush, yeah, better than Candy Crush, yeah. Solana dumped hard, yeah, we got a big dump on Solana. I saw that. Where is Solana up here? Solana did dump big time. If you go to the daily time frame, Solana dumped, you know, from the top to the bottom, it's down like 35%. Big move towards downside. Right now it's picking up a little bit up here, but just in the last day it was, you know, today it was down 50%. Yesterday it was down, you know, 10%. So it's definitely dumping. Something is definitely happening with Solana. And you know, the interesting thing is that, you know, Solana was one of the coins that, you know, Meta was actually adding to their Instagram for NFTs. So a little bit weird when it comes to that. That said, FTT is down 17%, guys. It's down 70%. You can see here that we went below the, you know, support. We tried to get it back, failed retest, and then we dumped down big time, 17%. Now, here comes the big question when it comes to FTT. If the FTT starts falling below the line down here, if it starts below, falling below this trend line over here, because right now it's down 17%. Your kid is genius. If it starts falling below this line, that's when I would say that, you know, something is definitely wrong with FTT, because right now there is a lot of FUD. So this was kind of, you know, this momentum up here was kind of, you know, expected right now that to happen. You know, we are hoping that this might actually break towards upside. Did not do that, so that means that there is a lot of sell pressure down here. They're definitely going for the FTT. So, you know, will it do this move up here, or will it break through the downside? That's the big question right now. And like we say on this channel, don't read the news, read the charts. So we would say it is bad, something's definitely happening. Big dump, but big dump down to the support line. So right now it's bouncing up a little bit. Let's see some indicators up here. We are very overextended on the 2-day time frame. Like, this is like major overextensions. These kind of things do not happen often. You gotta go back down here to, you know, May, a dump down here to see these kind of extensions. But this is a special event, so, you know, you cannot compare it to, you know, previous moves on downside. This is a weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, you know, we had the 2 big dumps up here, 3 big dumps. That was up here in, you know, May. This one up over here was, you know, down here somewhere when it started bleeding towards downside. Big move, big crash. And right now we are having the same kind of thing. So, but we had bigger dumps. We had bigger dumps definitely, like over here on Monday the 10th on May. That went all the way down, 69% towards downside from the moving averages, which is quite overextended. Is it bad for Bitcoin? Is this bad for Bitcoin? Well, it is bad for Bitcoin, but it's not bad yet. So there's that. Solana 35 Sunday, rebought at 25, the best trade for November so far. Nice for you, man. Very nice for you. FTI holds big bags of Solana. He's selling Solana to recover the FTX coin. Oh, okay, so that's how these things are, correlated. I've noticed that there is a lot of correlation between, if something is dumping, if somebody's dropping, selling something, for something else, there's definitely some shady stuff going on. Remember Luna, when Luna was selling, Bitcoin to save the peg and stuff like that, right? Yeah, that kind of stuff. I have buy orders at Solana at 19. Somebody should probably go to some kind of low liquidity exchanges, take some these low liquidity coins and put some random very low levels on buys, like in extreme low levels on buys. So you pick a coin, some random low liquidity coin. I don't know what's low liquidity. Maybe one is low liquidity, right? And you put buy orders, something like another 95% down, 60% down, something like that. You put buy orders down there, right? Because if you are in a low liquidity exchange and suddenly some kind of black swan event comes, this just goes down to zero. It picks up you and it's immediately back up here, right? That might be not financial advice, not financial, because if it goes down here immediately, it might just stay here. Who knows how this is gonna play out. I don't know. Having buy orders work crazy, crazy weeks happen. Yeah, crazy weeks happens. 8 Ball says no pump. Don't ask too much of the 8 Ball. So this move towards downside, definitely some kind of overextensions. We did break like everything on the downside up here. Not everything, but a lot got broken. There was this line up here, very steep line that got broken, but then there's this line up here, right? That's still holding or something like that, right? That's still not broken, might be down here, give or take. Let's see, just put like this up here. It looks nice. So definitely got some kind of support levels. Is these support levels gonna hold? I think we need to wait. I don't see any kind of special pattern up here. This over here was nice pattern, but this all pumped up here, and right now it can go back below this level. So I would say if this goes back down here, it might be very bad. But up here I was having kind of hopium that it's gonna just bounce, and every time I have hopium that it's gonna bounce, guys, you need to take notes. Every time I'm hopium but stop, even this is the third time it's actually happening. We come up to the top and I'm super bullish, everything looks nice, and then it just goes down. Super bullish, everything looks nice, and then it just goes down, right? Super bullish, everything looks nice, and then it just goes down. Super bullish, everything nice, and then it just goes down. Every single time. So I need to take notice of my emotions, because every time when stuff looks good, here's the thing. When stuff looks good, it should continue pumping. But if the stuff looks good and it does not pump, that means that there is weakness in the price and it's gonna reverse. So that's my right now my new thesis. If it looks good and it should pump, but it does not pump, something is bad. So just because stuff looks good doesn't mean that they're good. They have to, if it's good, then I have to pump. But if you see no pump, then there is that. The same thing goes towards downside. When stuff is bad, it needs to dump, right? When stuff becomes bad, it needs to dump, right? This over here needs to dump. If it fails to dump, then we can assume it's bullish. Bad stuff needs to dump, good stuff needs to pump, and if that does not happen, then something is wrong. Anyways, guys, that's what I got for you. I mean, it's a blood moon. What more can you expect? Blood moon on the charts. Big picture. My hair. There we go. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching. I won't take too much of your time. I mean, nobody wants to spend half an hour of their day on looking at Bitcoin and me. So there's that. Have a nice day, guys. There will be live stream maybe when the blood moon comes. Just We still don't have blood moon or anything like that. 8,300 people watching. We still got something like 2.5 hours until we actually get the, you know, the moon. But there is that. So there might be a live stream in 3 hours. So, you know, blood moon watch party. Come and join us. Maybe it's gonna be fine. Which one broke out yesterday? The dump has been a retest for it. Yeah, some coins will do that. Some coins, you know, they will pre-pump and then will dump when everything dumps, but they will only dump to the support. They pre-pump. Thanks for stopping by, guys. You know what to do with the Q coin link. And I'll see you around. Bye-bye.